what's going on, everybody? Your man Eric Wilson from the Sports Arena, still here live down on Radio Row. I have the wonderful and talented Miss Taylor Bisciotti here. You've seen her on NFL Network. She hosts a Sunday show, 9 a.m. Eastern. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So, you've been here all week, I'm sure. Talk to me, man. What has been your highlight this week?
Okay, so this is actually my very first day.
You just got in today?
Hour. No. Well, I've been here all week, but this is my first hour at Radio Row, and I'm just looking around, as I do every year, and I'm just still in shock that there's just so many people. It's a lot of energy in one room.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but every year I just kind of get overwhelmed by this atmosphere.
So how many Radio Rows have you been on?
This is my 7th season with NFL Network.
Wow.
So, 7.
Oh, wow. Okay, lucky number 7 for this young lady here. So when you walk in this room and you get hit with that energy, is that like kind of reinvigorating for you?
It's reinvigorating. It's also a little overwhelming.
Really?
I'll be honest with you.
Why?
I'm used to big crowds all the time. Like it's just a lot of stimulation.
You're on NFL Network. People are tuned in every Sunday morning to see you. You are getting massive crowds and audiences. I have to admit, I'm a little amazed that this type of setting is kind of like, Well,
I think you haven't seen a lot of the people that you're seeing in a year sometimes. And it's just, I don't know. I love it. It's a lot of fun. I wouldn't change it. I missed it during COVID, so I guess it's one season down.
Yeah.
So I miss all the interactions and just like that in-person experience is invaluable. But yeah.
So for those who don't know, talk to my viewing audience, just about your show and what you do and what it encompasses.
So every year has really, honestly, been really different for what I've done. I've hosted a show, in case you missed it, All 32. That's primarily in studio. And so that's a really big misconception, because when you're doing shows in studio, a lot of times it's you just talking to a camera. There's no stimulation around you besides a stage manager, somebody that's there to help you, tell you which camera to look at. But this year and last year, I would say I did more on-field reporting, going to the teams, being around the players, and I love that. I didn't realize how much I missed being out in the field and being the eyes and ears on the ground during the games. I think that you just learn so much more. You get to know more people. You get to know the players better. You get to know the ins and outs of the teams, just how things are operating, and every team is so different. So I enjoy kind of really getting a feel for it, and the only way to do that is being there.
No, I agree. Definitely immersing yourself in the presence of the organization, of the teams, of the players, really gives you a better and a deeper understanding.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, over the last 7 years, favorite interview?
That's a great question. Most exciting, bucket list interview, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay.
Finally got him after a game.
All right.
He was great. Andrew Whitworth is always going to be one of my favorite interviews. I just love what he has to say.
Right.
You learn something new every day, and you just realize how incredible of a person he is. He's always, from day one in the league, used his platform for something beyond just the game of football, going out into the community, constantly giving back. He is on every team that he's ever played. He's just a perfect example of what you want your organization to represent.
Okay. So let's flip it. Has any athlete or anybody that you've interviewed been a little difficult? A little maybe not as open as you'd like them to be?
Yes, and I understand it a lot of times. I think that when you're going into a locker room after a game that a player lost the game for the team, and I don't ever believe in a player losing the game for a team. I think that there were things along the way that the whole team could have played better, so they weren't in that position.
Okay.
But you're going up to somebody who's just had, it's like if you had your worst day at work, you just feel like you didn't play well, you were not on your A game, you feel like you let people down, you disappointed people, you're frustrated with yourself. I don't want somebody coming up and asking me a million questions. Why'd you do this? What could you have done better? It's like, just give somebody, a little bit of time. So I understand it when in those situations you get short answers, It's not a comfortable thing to have to talk about right after.
Yeah, those, I agree. I think the cool-off period should be a little longer than 10 minutes before you allow media in. I've always been a fan of that. So let's get to the game, Taylor. You got two teams here, both the number 1 seed, both sitting at 16-3. Two black African-American quarterbacks playing in this game. Give me your thoughts on the Chiefs versus the
Eagles. Top to bottom, I think the Chiefs are the better team. They have the better defense for sure. Their offense is healthier. I just think better. They've got more talent on that offense right now that's healthy. But I can't go against the Chiefs because of the experience that Andy Reid has with playoffs, with this game, with the Super Bowl, and Patrick Mahomes. That experience is invaluable. I think that even with the Eagles being the better team, I just think these 2 weeks are a lot going on. It's a lot going on. There's a lot of outside noise. It's emotionally draining. By the time that you get to that game, there's a lot of nerves. I'm gonna go with the team that has a lot of experience in this department, and that's Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Listen, I really feel like unless you are a diehard fan of either one of these teams, you really can't go wrong with how either team is going to match up. Now, I am the more fan side because Philadelphia is my team, so I would kind of push back on that and say, while I appreciate everything about Kansas City, and listen, their basement over the last 5 years has been the AFC Championship game. There is no disputing that, a lot of teams say, oh, we'll be back next year. Well, Kansas City has proven it time and time and time again. And that has a lot to do with Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, Travis Kelce, and, of course, Patrick Mahomes. Not to mention that Steve Spagnuolo defense. However, and I will be as unbiased as possible with this, or as professional as possible when I say this to you, Philadelphia, there's a different mindset. It's a mindset that I personally have seen from the year that we won in 2017, but even going back to the Donovan McNabb days, where every year Philly was getting to the NFC Championship game, having that opportunity, finally breaking through the ceiling and getting back to the Super Bowl. So there are pieces of that. When you speak about the offense being healthier, I would question Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes because they have suffered minor injuries. We won't call them, I won't say they're like major offsetting, but there are injuries that existed during the postseason. Whereas for Philadelphia, the only talk that I know of was Jalen and the shoulder.
Oh, no, I was saying Eagles are healthier.
Oh, okay.
Eagles are healthier. Eagles are the better team top to bottom, I think. But
you're still going with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes.
Look, I think it could go either way for sure.
No, that's fine.
Jalen Hurts has defied expectations all year long.
Yes.
I've loved seeing it. I mean, Nick Sirianni, people were not expecting them to be as good as they were. So they've just continuously defied expectations. They had one bad game against the Commanders, and I feel like they immediately came in there, fixed that problem. They nipped it in the bud, and they've been stellar. So nothing would surprise me. I think they're the better team, but I also think that there is that element, and it's tough to look past that and overlook it because that experience, like you said, Patrick Mahomes is Superman. I mean, he had a high ankle sprain, and 5 days later, he looked like fine.
He can run a mile. Yeah, and then some. Well, I'm not going to keep you. I know you have a lot to do, but I want to thank you
for having me.
For giving me a moment
and
of your
good luck
time
to your
here.
Eagles.
Well, thank you so much.
Have any
So who I have to ask before let's go. Who's your team?
All 32.
Oh, come on. See, the politically correct answer from the lovely Taylor Bisciotti, part of the NFL Network. Make sure you catch her Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern. Are you a part of the Good Morning Football, or is it?
No, Good Morning Football, so they're Monday through Friday.
Right.
And then we have Game Day Morning on Sundays.
Game Day Morning, right.
If I'm covering a game,
it's
on, and it's an East Coast game, because a lot of times we won't do the West Coast games. It's tough to, unless it's a marquee matchup of the week, it's tough to get in those Game Day Morning shows because it's so early.
Fair enough.
Sometimes they don't even want to open up the fields.
Listen, I definitely know that one. They want to make sure that there is no access before it is necessary. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. Best of luck to you. Best of luck. I can't even talk. This is what this girl does to me. Anyhow, check her out Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Your man, Eric Wilson, for the Sports Arena. We are here, Super Bowl 57, Radio Row in Phoenix, Arizona. We'll talk to you guys really soon.